I've been sitting back thinking and just asking myself a lot of questions in my head about, every time we turn it on the news, as me and the brother Thomas Freemy talked about last night, every time we turn on the news, it's some people getting killed. And and to be truthful, I try to, in my mind, I try to think about what could cause someone to be doing this type of stuff so regularly, so as if it's just like going to the candy store or something. And it's very hurtful because you have too many children already losing their fathers to prison and losing their fathers to so many other things in life. It's it hurt because I sit up and I've been there before. I've been behind them prison walls, and I know how it feels to be missing someone. I know how it feels to be away from my family. and and I know how it feels to have a child missing her parent or missing his parent. And that's not a good feeling. And so I just try to wrap my mind around, we just out here. It's like we living in the jungle, dog eat dog world. And it don't have to be that way, but that's the way that we create this environment that we live in. And we have to understand that we created the environment. No one created this environment for us but us. So now no one can tame this environment but us. We have to stand up on the principles that we say we stand on. We have to stand up as the adults in this situation and say, enough is enough. I mean, that's not to say that we're going to go grab none of these young guys or old guys or whoever involved in criminal activity. We're not trying to go grab nobody's by their arm or do nothing like that. But what we're saying is we have to stand up. If not now, when? When do we stand up like our brothers and sisters did in the past? Those brothers and sisters, they stood up, they got water hosed, they got beaten, they got battered, they got everything happened to them under the sun, but they was making a willing sacrifice so that the generations after them wouldn't have to go through this stuff. And so now I'm asking us, what sacrifices are we willing to make? When are we going to make a sacrifice? When are we going to think about all of those brothers and sisters who died just so we can enjoy some of the privileges and so-called freedoms that we have today? When are we going to sacrifice? When are we going to think of our children and our children's children and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I want to see my child and my grandchildren have a prosperous future, have a peaceful future, have a safe future. When are we going to stand up as adults and say this? It brings tears to my eyes and tears to my heart when I think about all of the young brothers and sisters that we just lost just this year, not last year, just this year. We've lost too many. We've lost too many. You have children going to 13, 14, 15-year-old birthday parties, and they're just shooting up the party. For what? What, because I said something to you on Facebook, Instagram, one of these social media sites? Come on, man. Come on. Aren't we worth more than that? Aren't you worth more than that? Ain't your family worth more than that? Ain't your peace of mind worth more than that? You know, there comes a time when we have to sit down and accept responsibility for the bad decisions that we make. We have to own up to those bad decisions. We have to make a speedy reparation for any wrong that we committed against ourselves or against someone else. We have to make a speedy reparation. You know, we don't want people to disrespect us in any way, come across us the wrong way at all. We don't expect people to do these things to us. We don't even want to tolerate people doing these things to us. My man, Big Unc, you want to be invited, Big Unc? All right, man. I'm gonna put you on. Listen, it's painful to me because every time I turn on the news, I keep saying this, that it's like if you've seen it once, you've seen it twice. Let me pull Big Unc in, see what this brother talking about. And you know, when you have a 15-year-old killed, what's up, Big Unc? Hey, now what's going on, my brother? Oh man, you live, baby. Yeah, peace and love to you. Peace and love, man. I'm just talking, man, because it's just really painful to me, man, because every single time I turn on the news, and I don't care where you from. That's the crazy thing. We used to be able to isolate and say, man, in Chicago, them boys acting a fool, or in Detroit, they acting a fool. No, they're acting a fool everywhere. Everywhere, man. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell is in the water.
Well, I mean, not only is it something in the water, but we also got to realize, see, you don't remember me. We gonna kick it. I'm going to hit you in your DM.
I remember you. I just can't remember you well.
Okay. Well, let's just say, you know, them dismal Crips.
Absolutely.
But anyway, you know, I often talk about, hold on real quick. I don't know how good I'm going to be able to see on this thing because I'm trying to hook up this dinner.
I feel you. I hooked up my dinner. It was called microwave. Good dinner.
They ain't gonna get nothing too much different. I'm just trying to fix something for them real quick. But I often talk about how, you know, social media.
Ooh.
You know, some of us understand how to use it as an outlet.
Talk about it.
Also use it as a tool to reach out to uplift others.
Man, talk about it.
A lot of people, you know, especially this generation that's born in it, they really don't understand the power that it can hold if they utilize it for true purpose, or for a true purpose instead of for what they think is intended to use for. But I think it's just that I tell people this, remember back in the day when if you went down to Kentucky or you went down south, you knew you was down south, and they knew you wasn't from down there. You must be from the city. Where you from?
Yes.
You really can't, like you just said, you really can't tell because we all are able to associate with each other and reach out to each other. So sociology has just really went to another level.
Ain't it?
So that's one of the reasons why I think it's so different.
But brother, let me tell you something, man. I mean, I'm sure if you living and breathing at the age you are, that you were 16 before, because I was, right? Now, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around, even in my wildest of days, I couldn't think of going into the school and killing no children. I couldn't even fathom in my most wildest wicked imagination going into school and harming some children.
Right.
It really is baffling to me because we trying to find a way to reach these young brothers and sisters, and it's like we got to go literally inside the school system with them because that's where it's happening at.
Right. And don't forget they got those key those trigger words on here. So like instead of the KILL word, you gotta say like unalive or off or something like that.
Right.
You got to substitute it. But because I don't want you to get your live banned.
Oh yeah, TikTok been on me.
Yeah, they'll ban you. So it's just about knowing what you can, because they allow for you to act a fool, but it's just certain words. It's basically for them to be able to protect
yes.
They net. So they don't care if you say some words, the B word, all that stuff, but then when it comes to just saying simple words like that, they want to ban you. But anyway, that's it though. I was talking to some women, some sisters about basically how a lot of them are left out here to be single mothers, right?
Wow.
And so, as a single mother, it forces them to have to go and work 2 jobs.
Absolutely.
Just to make ends meet because of capitalism, the cost of living and inflation and everything else done drove up. So you need to at least, even as a mother of maybe 1 or 2 children, if you ain't making $40,000-$50,000 a year,
right,
you hurting. And so don't have 2-3 children.
And
like, listen, you're going to need to have 2 incomes. So the average household in America needs 2 incomes. But since there is no second person in the household, in most of these households,
right,
mass incarceration, genocide, death, and a few other things, right? So these women left to raise some of these children by themselves. And so they have to work 2 jobs or 1 job and a side hustle, a business, an eyelash business, or doing hair on the side. So they don't really have time to properly raise their children no more. So now when they come home, they tired. So when the children come and want to get time that you're supposed to properly, because in a traditional household, the mother would usually stay home, right? And the father would go out and earn the money. So somebody's at home properly raising the child.
Right.
Now, guess who's raising your children? So even though you think you keep strangers outside your household, not with TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Nope. So you ain't got to raise your children no more. So now when they go to school, the teachers looking like, well, who is raising you? Who done taught you this?
Right.
But the parents like, I ain't teach them that, but you ain't got to. It's the lack of you being there, being present. So you allow for these electronics and these game systems and these other things to raise your children. So now, subconsciously, you don't even realize that outside influences and entities is being entered. And they coming and stealing your children out your home.
Wow.
Right from up under your nose, and you don't even see it happening.
Right from up under our nose, our children are being taken away from us. How? Because the people behind these computers and this technology have come up with something so strong that it will take away the mindset of a child, and it will take that child away from its parent. It will even cause that child to unalive the parent. We have watched this stuff on video games, man.
Properly raising your children. They watch the bit of this inclination. You didn't watch that child coming up right. So now you didn't allow for somebody else. And once they get a certain age, I tell women all the time, listen, be careful because you teach children, but you show adults. So since you didn't teach your child, now that it's becoming a young adult, if you're not leading by example, it's going to be following. It's going to look for something to imitate after. So if you're not imitating what it's supposed to do, then guess what? Whoever else is influencing or wearing the latest fashion or doing whatever that they think is cool, that's who they're going to imitate. And so you're thinking that I done raised my child or my son or my daughter right. But no, you ain't did nothing because you've been working all day.
It's amazing because I do private security, right? So I'm out with some of my clients. I'll be out to 3, 4, 5 in the morning sometime, right? And this is a thought that always crossed my mind, and I'm not judging no one because I don't know their background, and even if I did, it's not my place to judge them. But
one second, hold that train of thought.
All right.
Hey, okay, then, Country Rick, what's up? I'm gonna share your live out. I'm trying to get some of my people in. Hey, if y'all in this brother live, I understand that y'all enjoying the conversation, but please tap the screen and share the live, because when you tap the screen, remember to send the live to the For You page, and we can get people in on this conversation, so we can get a whole bunch of people in this live.
Absolutely.
For the drama, you can come and learn something. So please, y'all, it's free. You don't have to pay no money. He ain't asking for no gifts. Just tap his screen, get them likes up, try to get to like 2.5 thousand. I see it going up already. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead, bro.
So when I be out working with my clients, this is the type of stuff I think about, because I see a lot of young ladies out, right? A lot of young men too. But the thought that crossed my mind is because I understand the mother being the vessel, the mother being the closest thing to our life. I understand that because she's the procreator of life. So when I see these young ladies out 3, 4, and 5 in the morning, and they smoking weed, or they drinking, or they high as hell, or they drunk as hell, all I be thinking about was, man, where your children at? Who taking care of your child? Because I know you got some, because 9 out of 10 of them showing all their belly, so you see the stretch marks. And I'm not saying nothing bad about stretch marks for you women. I'm just saying this is my observation. And it's just baffling to me, because I know a lot of these women are mothers, and they're out at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning. So it just begs the question in my mind, who's taking care of the child? That's it. Who's taking care of the child? Because then we can't turn around and blame someone else when that child goes astray. Because as the brother said, we're taught to learn to watch the bent of his inclination and let no bad habit gain strength with his years. But when you leave that child alone, you allow bad habits to gain strength with him, because you're not there. So,
raising the child, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so, one thing I try to, like, when I stroll across this app, because I do live streaming, right? And I tell people all the time, I'm so sick of hearing about what woman is masculine, or this man is a simp, or this and that. Listen, man, ain't none of that stuff. Understand this? Ain't none of that stuff important. What's important is what's the solution?
Right.
Everybody want to talk about the problem. We can sit up and chit chat about the problem all day long, but what's the solution? Because the work only gonna get done by those who put the work in. And so if ain't nobody willing to step out into the community or create some type of outlet or some type of platform on these platforms that we giving, then it's nothing gonna get changed. So I say that to say this: we need more teachers and leaders amongst the people.
Don't we, man?
We need people to not be afraid to step up and to make that sacrifice in order to make a change. Somebody got to sacrifice.
You know
that. Somebody got to sacrifice. Accountability is the thing.
Somebody, and accountability is a thing of the past. People think they can do whatever without consequences. And that's so true, man. I mean, accountability is a thing. No one wants to just accept responsibility. No one wants to be held accountable for their actions. And my my girlfriend always
we talk about our community, right?
Yes.
And we say, well, what's the problem in our community? And I ain't just talking about for chocolate people, I'm talking about for vanilla people too, right? I'm talking about for everybody. What is the problem? If you're suffering the consequences of what we're talking about, then this is for you. So what's the problem, right? And we talk about how do we change the community, where it starts with self, first of all. Because if you don't change your mindset and you don't change your environment, both of them has to happen. And everybody know, even country did some time too. And country know my situation, and we know each other's situation. When I came home, I knew that I could not go back to Detroit.
Right.
Because what I did was some self-evaluation. And even when I did my pre-release plan, my parole reintegration plan, right? I wrote down my risk factors.
Yes.
And I studied them. And I said, you know what? I got to analyze my internal risk factors and my external risk
That's right.
factors. What do I have inside of me, right? And what do I have outside of me that can influence me to not be successful when I step back out to this community? So I knew that, hey, my mindset is pretty clear. But if I go back to that environment, there's a possibility that I could be sucked back in by some of the influence around me.
Yes.
So we often tell people you got to be careful about what you are allowed to be in your circumference.
That's right.
Space, because that stuff will influence you.
That's right.
The soul seeks and searches. So we see something we like, we be going after it quick. All that stuff we done learned, that stuff will be out the window. I seen it all the time. So what I did was I said, I got my mindset changed, right? Now I have to change my environment.
Yes.
And I knew I was going to have to make a sacrifice. I said, dang, I want to be around my kids. My children is right there. That's where I want to be. And I'm still 2.5 hours away, but I'm not right around the corner. But that was a sacrifice that I was willing to make in order to make a change. See, and that's what I don't believe people are ready to do. They ain't willing to sacrifice. They ain't ready to give up nothing.
See, what I just heard you say, right? You say, although you stay 2.5 hours away, but that's the sacrifice you had to make. And that's the type of mindset that I'm trying to have people to look into, because even though that's your child, you're no good for your child if you're in an environment that you're going to fall victim to. One way or the other, whether you on this side of that thing or whether you on that side of that thing, you're nothing to your children at that point. You can't help them. But if you take yourself out of the environment, because now we're talking about the mindset. What made you take yourself out? Because you gave it thought. The thought is the cause of it all. So now you take yourself out of, because I literally had to do the same thing. I told myself after 28 years in prison, I told myself that, man, I do not want to be, now I know that I'm strong. I felt that I was strong. I felt that I was prideful in knowing that I think the right thoughts. But we also understand, as righteous individuals, we understand that there's an evil that lurks around us and within us that will cause us to fall victim to our own weakness. And so therefore, I had to be strong in my resolve and say, I don't want to be over here. I want something better for myself, because I already know how the worst stuff look like. I want something better because my goals are to help someone else. I can't help someone else if I'm straddling the fence. So I had to make sure that I was on this side of the fence, and I built the fence a little bit higher. The stronger I got, I built that fence a little bit higher where I ain't got to worry about straddling that fence. And so now brothers come out here and we become like Country just said to you. He said, Big Unc, he said, but we're doing better and helping others do better. That's what it's about, because I told my brother this, and I tell a lot of brothers this. I say the blessings that are bestowed upon us, those blessings ain't meant for us. Those blessings are meant for us to pass along to someone else, because that's how you become blessed, when you give the blessing away. Share the blessing. And so all of that knowledge that we obtained while we was behind those prison walls and in those dismal crypts, for those listeners who don't know what the dismal crypts is, the dismal crypts is an isolated cell or unit inside a prison where they put people because they consider you the bad guy, or you did something bad or something like that. So now you got to go sit down for a while in that particular cell by yourself, away from people and on restrictions. So we call that the dismal crypts. But in those dismal crypts, a lot of us learned how to become the men that we are today, because we applied, we talked to one another.
It forced you to study. It forced you to get to know yourself.
Absolutely, man.
When you in there, either you're going to get to know yourself or you're going to come out missing some screws.
Man, point blank.
You're going to get to know yourself, and you're going to have to study yourself, and it's going to make you a better person. But everybody didn't make it. Everybody didn't have a strong enough will and mindset. Some people cracked up. We know, me and you both know.
Yeah.
Listen, that your life is worth more to others than it is to yourself.
Ooh-wee.
Therefore, everything that I do, I'm not doing it necessarily for me. Although self-preservation as a human kicks in, I'm not doing it necessarily for me, because consciously I know that if something happens to me, everybody that's going to walk past that casket or whatever and stand over me and be crying, look how many people that's affected.
Right.
So what makes my one life better than these 30 or 40 people?
Right, yeah.
I mean so much too. What makes my one life better than all these other people's lives, right? My soul ain't no precious, my spirit ain't no more precious than their spirit. So therefore, knowing that if I am to be a leader amongst my community, amongst people, then I have to be selfless and understand that my life is worth way more to others than it'll ever be worth to myself.
Absolutely,
I'm
man.
one individual.
That's called being selfless, man. That's going back to that blessing. You've been blessed, man, but the blessings are not meant for you to hold on to. They're meant for you to pass along because you already know that you're blessed. See, some people don't know that they're blessed. And therefore, it is excuse me, it is incumbent upon people like us who know we blessed, who know where we've been at, who know the dismal crypts that we came from, who know that the highest heights are gained by those who have reached the greatest depths. We've been there. So when blessings are bestowed upon us, we pass it right along because we understand that that's how we become blessed, by passing that stuff along, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the word said, thrice is blessed the man who has made purity
in love.
He's been ransomed. He's been saved from himself because he understands now. So his spirit, his energy is vibrating at a higher frequency to where now he's conscious and he can understand that, you know what? It ain't about me. The quicker and sooner that we as a people forget just the community. Let's go larger than the community.
Yeah.
As a people, right? As humans, the quicker and sooner that we can realize that it ain't about you. It ain't never about you. You can't enjoy nothing if it don't be for everybody else around you. You can't enjoy society. Like, why would you want a car, anything, if it wasn't women and other people around?
Right.
What? For yourself?
Well, we know it said a piece of society dependeth upon justice, the happiness of individuals on the safe enjoyment of all their possessions. So your peace depends on everything else around you. Even with your possessions, you keeping your possessions depend on the atmosphere around you. So we have to realize that in any walk of life that we may take, that we have to be speak and act and have faith in our resolve to know that we're walking in the right direction and that we're fortified by the impregnable doctrine of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it walks with us every single step of the way. But as soon as we show doubt, the devil begins to lick his teeth. That devil licking his teeth saying, I got him now. And we have to stand up and say, oh no, devil, away from me all tempting thoughts. My heart is fixed. I spurn this carnal self of all his vain ambition and his pride. We have to stand firm on it, brother. Islam, Riganil, we have to stand firm on it. Hey, man, I feel good.
Absolutely. Peace and love. Islam, brother. Hey, listen. It's so important, man. And that's why I'm on this app, right? And so, like, we know that any room or any building or dwelling that we step into turns into a what?
A temple.
It goes, everything goes like this, 360.
That's right.
And so I have like 85%, 90% largely women following. But I got other brothers like Country, you know, different people that I done met on this app, brothers that I build with. But because I think it starts with the women, I'm gonna tell you, they are the ones who bear and give life.
That's right.
They give life. So even when you talk about, what these women, what they bring to the table, all that other type of stuff. Listen, man, they give life, and so because they give life, they hold the key to civilization. They got it.
That's right. They say.
So when they're as men and as leaders, when they're off track, it's our duty to get them back on track. Because if not, then you send your children out. My son might be the one that running your child's school, and do the crazy nonsense.
That's right.
Because I wasn't responsible enough as a man, once I laid my seed, to make sure I cultivate that seed. And if I couldn't cultivate that seed, at least cultivate the mind of the person that's bringing this care for that seed, right? So it can properly. It's just like if you send somebody out to crop a crop or a garden, and they didn't really know what they was doing. Well, it's up to you to give that pass that information down. Like, hey, this how you do this. You want to make sure you water this right here. Hey, take all these weeds out because that'll kill the flower. This it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I try to tell them that because a lot of minds is backwards, man. They gone. You know, it's up to us to really save our community.
You know, but we can look at that, and I agree with you. The minds are definitely backwards, and you know how the brother Minister Louis Farrakhan once said that he said the devil took his brain out of his head. The way that the devil hate us, he took his brain out of his head and put it in our head, and now we hate ourselves, right? And in other words, that's just saying that the devil lives within us, man, and that devil is at all times trying to seek whom he may devour. I'm talking about, again, any sign of weakness, he's gonna pounce on us, man. We know it. We know, you know, the old story of the God on this side and the devil on this side. We know that that's a true story, but it's our thoughts. We know that that's a true story because we have done wrong to people, and we have done, and in the process of going to do wrong, it was that one side saying, no, don't do that. No, look, you need to stop. You ain't got to do that. And then the other side, like, yeah, you're going to be able to have some money. You're going to be able to drive this car. You're going to be able to buy you some fresh gym shoes. You're going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. So this is our own thoughts. That devil, that God is our own thoughts. But as soon as we realize this and acknowledge this, then we can appreciate the saving power that we possess. But if we can't acknowledge the devil within us, you know, we can all day talk about a certain people is the devil. I don't agree with that because if you're a human being like me, then this means if I say you a devil, I got to be a devil too. So I mean that's how it works. That's just life. So we can never point the finger at someone and look at and castigate them or make them belittle them to the point to where we regard them as beasts, as if we're gods, but yet we're acting like beasts too. And that brings me right to my subject where I talk about where's the outrage and the protest when we killing us, man?
They looked at me like I was crazy. I was on live one time. I said, listen, man, I don't want to hear about no BLM because you can't say that on this app. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The organization. I don't want to hear about none of that type of stuff. Because who it matter to? Who does it matter to? You telling me BLM, you gonna come out here and protest and be willing to so-called lay your life down, but then turn around and go right back to your own neighborhood, sell poison, commit atrocities, and murders and thefts and everything else that harm. I don't hear about it.
And one of my friends last year, he said, it was the year before. He said, man, you coming downtown, man? Everybody gonna be, you know, marching and talking about this, and that. You know, after the police did something to someone. I said, you know what, brother? I said, I'm not coming down there. I say, because we don't do this when we do it to each other. I say, when we start doing this, when we do it to each other, and we stand up to each other, against each other, to bring one another in harmony, until we start doing it, I'm not coming down to none of that stuff, man. Because I truly feel like this.
We be talking about, man, ain't no snitching.
Man.
The devil only wants to get you when you are doing good, and man, if you're doing bad, then the devil doesn't care. But absolutely. But remember, country. Did he do anything? No. But remember, country. It's all a state of mind.
Right.
When I say something, country, you got to be careful strategic with how I talk. Remember earlier I talked about mindset. I'm talking about a state of mind now. Remember, look the word up. A state is a condition. Conditions can change at any moment.
Absolutely.
So what devil? It don't exist without you.
That's right.
So when you talk about the devil caring about you when you're doing good or bad, yeah, if you're being bad, that's when the devil don't care about you, right? You say if you're doing bad, then the devil doesn't care, but the devil only wants you when you're doing good. But that's because that's your thoughts. That's nature trying to balance itself out.
Right.
One without the other. If it wasn't no bad, then how would it be a such thing as good?
Right.
When everything in life has a duality and a polarity to it. So it can't be no up if it ain't no down. It can't be no left if it ain't no right.
That's
can't
right.
Be no hot if it ain't no cold. Can't be no good if it ain't no bad. Can't be no evil if it ain't no. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, it only wants you when you think that you're doing good, right? Because that's the mind trying to balance itself out. Oh, believe me, there's a creator for everything that is, was, never more to be. So that same thing that created good created bad.
Absolutely.
There's a purpose for it.
You know that story of Job in the biblical text, the story of Job when the devil talked to God and he said, who is that? God said, that's one of my favorite servants. I'm just paraphrasing. The devil said, wow, I like him. God said, you can't do nothing with him. The devil say, give me one day with him, and I guarantee you I'll turn him against you. And God say, right. He say, the devil say, I guarantee you, if you took everything away from him, he will curse you. God say, not Job. That's my guy right there. So now what ends up happening, who is that? All right, what up, Doe? So now what ends up happening is...
What's up, Better West? How you doing? You know, I'm in here with one of my good people, one of my good brothers. We in here having a deep conversation.
For real.
You got to follow her, bro. This young sister right here, man. She deep.
Jada West.
And she about her business, though.
Absolutely.
You would think she on our age because of how she carry herself, but
I just like wisdom, man. And so you know, when God began removing earthly possessions from Job, Job remained dedicated and faithful to God. He asked questions because we're all entitled to ask questions. But he never cursed God. He just asked questions. Why me? Talk to me. And so after God removed all of Job's worldly possessions that he had gained because he was a rich man, the devil said, I got him now. God said, no, you don't. The man is standing strong on what he believed and what he have faith in, and that's me. And so the moral of the story is that even in his worst of time, when all of his worldly possessions were removed from him, Job remained faithful to his God. He knew that the devil was talking because the devil was telling him to curse God. But the devil is right here. I ain't talking about somebody outside. I'm talking about somebody inside. So the devil was trying to get him to curse God. And God was saying, hold fast. In a still small voice, hold fast. I got you. You with me. You can't lose when you with me. See, victory is sure when you with me. But when you... So, listen, brother.
It's all a mindset.
It's all a mindset, man.
But you got to... That's what I teach people is that get out of that state of mind that you're in. Because them states of mind, listen, you be up one day, down the next day, round here the next day, feeling like you want to lay on your bed the next day. Now, we're human, right? And so we're made up of a substance. Yes, I am. Okay, girl. We're made up of a substance that's pliant. So that means we can go either way at any time.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, once you fix your mind on something, it's set. That which is set and fixed is unchangeable. It's not going to change. That's what you have to do. That's the only way that you can truly become consistent in anything is to get into a mindset. Jada know she's a brand strategist, right?
Yeah.
She can help you with your page, any of that, bro. Listen, but she knows me and her go through this all the time. I take a break before I I'll take a break. Listen, I'll take a break from TikTok and from Instagram and all that stuff because I'll be like, listen, I have to be consistent in something.
Yes.
So therefore, I have to figure out what's my priorities, right?
Yes.
So I'm in a community. I'm running youth groups. I'm doing all kind of stuff. And at that moment, that'd be more important than TikTok. But I still make it an obligation to come on here and build and teach people because that's what I do. But you have to be fixed in something in order to be consistent.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll be inconsistent.
And
then if you're inconsistent, that means you're not reliable. Men rely on that which you know is going to be consistent.
That's right.
If I knew I could pop on here every day, and that's what I be trying to tell, what you say, yeah,
the priority is a big thing.
Jada, and so we be so busy. Like, but I'm trying to now divide my time to where I can do that. But if I knew that, okay, Knuckles, he'll come on here every day at this time, or Big Uncle, he'll come on here every day at this time, then you know how many people will be in your life because they know that they can count on, they can rely on.
Yes.
And I feel like getting fed today. I know every day for an hour or two at this time he gonna be there. And that be my issue sometimes because I ain't fixed on this shit.
And see, that's the issue. Well, that's not the issue with me because I got pink eye, man. I'm too much. Whew. So that's not the issue with me because I make time when I was in prison and I heard about Facebook and Instagram and all these other social media networks, right?
Hey, hold on. Hold that thought. Don't keep that thought.
Gotcha.
Tell the sister how long you did.
I served 28 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Listen, when I tell them I did 18, they be like, what? This man done did 10 more years. When I came in, he had 10 in already.
Yep, I served 28. I've been out going on 5 years, October. And I remember I was in there and me and a couple of my guys, because we used this place and we turned this place into a university. So all we did was teach one another, learn from one another. I'm talking about we would study the dictionary, study the thesaurus. We read so many books that it was incredible. And so in prison, I told myself when I heard about all the social media networks, I said, when I get out, I'm about to use that social media as my platform because I understand that it could be used in a negative or it could be used in a positive. But I had no negative energy in me to give out. My negative energy was exhausted during that 28 years. So I had nothing but positivity in me. So I got out here and my goal, and I still practice it today, my goal was to create a platform in this social media, use this platform to establish myself as a leader in the community, as someone people can talk to, counselor, motivator, inspirator, whatever it is. And I honestly have done that.
You see what Cookie said? He said, damn, I did 4 years and said, I'm going to get my stuff straight.
So
listen, man. And listen, we just tipping the iceberg. I know brothers who was like mentors and big uncles and father figures to me who literally served 40-something years without no commercial breaks. They ain't come and go back and come and go back. They ain't get to go home for a week or two. None of that. Like 40-something years straight.
We just had a brother get out after 50 years. He been out 5 months now after 50 years.
What you talking about?
I cannot remember the. Oh man, I just was with the brother in Lansing, man. 50 years.
I know.
I'm talking about. I got pictures with him, and then we got my brother who did 43 years. Ronnie did 41. Lango
did about what?
Lango did like 41, 42. You know, it's brothers that did, and
did 43.
These brothers are scholars for real.
You meet them? Listen,
you know.
Absolutely, Jada. Like, listen, we out here trying to push agendas, and we ain't got no negative, downtrodden. All our agendas. Well, she know me, but this brother right here, I be watching him. He be like, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? How you be going and speaking with? Listen, I be watching. I be on it now.
Absolutely. Listen.
My research. As soon as I seen like, oh, the brother got a TikTok too, let me follow him because it looked like he finna get 1,000 fuck boom when he get up there like that. I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I know he gonna want to go live, so that was my whole. Listen, man, I be strategic with what I do. Like I told the sister, it ain't nobody that I follow that don't, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, have a positive mindset. You ain't got to be like a business owner. Like everybody, literally, who I'm around out here, I don't know nobody that don't own their own business is not somewhat successful. I just don't.
Right.
In my circle, but I at least have to have people who think their conditions can be better. And I know that you think your conditions can be better because I can tell the way you move. And my pops, he wasn't a hell of a man. And he didn't teach me much. But one thing he always said, and thank you for liking the live too, Jay. One thing he always told me was that if you want to know where a man is going, watch his feet. The whole time, I'm like, what the heck do you mean by that? Look at his feet. Like, what pair of shoes? If he got on some nice shoes, that mean he doing so. I ain't know what he meant, right? Until I became somewhat conscious, I said, oh, watch the pattern. Watch where he go. So I used that same strategy even when I was incarcerated.
Yes.
I used to just watch a guy every day.
Yes.
Yep, going to the poker table, he gonna go there, he gonna go down there, mess with the pump. I knew exactly, I could tell what a person was doing, and it made me understand, nope, that person is not for me.
That's right.
Guys used to be like, oh man, because I speak good. They used to be like, man, you gotta bring me over to the tip. I used to be like, you ain't ready.
You're not ready, brother.
And then if you had guys who was older because they was chasing numbers, oh, you know, you got to bring them because the prophet said, no, if you're not ready, the prophet said, my mama's not getting in. So if I know that you're not ready to receive this information, then I'm not going to even expose it to you because it's going to do more harm than it is good.
That's right.
You have to be ready to receive this type of
right.
stuff. And I ain't just talking about religious stuff. I'm talking about information that can be beneficial to your life.
You know, some things are not meant for everybody to know, right? And so therefore, we learned in that school of thought that we come from that sometimes the truth told out of season is worse than a lie. So if you're not ready for the truth, I could tell it to you and it'll burn you down.
Right. It's going to do more harm than it is good.
It's going to do more harm than it will good. So sometimes a wise man must learn when to divulge his wisdom and when to hold back, because everybody is not privy to it. You know what I'm saying? You might be entertaining the devil. I remember when I was in prison, and
the devil can do mighty things
all the time. The devil can look just like us. Listen, I remember I was in prison, and we used to get the young brothers that no longer wanted to be a part of the gangs. We would get them out of the gang. We'd talk to the heads of the gang, get them out so they don't, jump them out or anything like that. So I remember this brother, he used to always try to go into the gang sets and, like he was really that guy that he can go and sit amongst them and talk and he could get things done through them and X, Y, and Z. And I remember a brother told him, he said, brother, you got to be careful because you think you going up in there and getting things done, but you might just happen to be wearing the same rag as them tomorrow if you're not careful. And guess what? And I'm not exaggerating. He was wearing the same rag as them. One day, this was my guy. I'm like, what you doing, brother? You don't want to walk with us around the yard? What's up? Why you keep going over there? He said, oh man, it's nothing less than my mans in them. Next thing I know, that's his mans in them, and that's his mans in them. And then they got into it with some stuff, and he was riding with them because he had joined them. So sometimes we have to be careful with thinking that we can sit amongst the devilish mindsets and transform those devilish mindsets when we're still in our devilish mindsets.
It's not, because what people don't realize is that we're forever in a state of evolution. So the mind is steady evolving and steady picking up. You're gonna be, I tell people, they be like, man, there's no possible way. There's no possible way that you can know and learn everything. You're gonna be learning, you're gonna be growing and evolving to the day that you leave this earth. And so, because that's what life is.
That's life.
It's a constant state of evolution. And so, you may think you at the highest pinnacle of your wisdom. You know what you know. Can't nobody, you 45, can't nobody penetrate your understanding. But like you said, you allow something in your circumference long enough, if you're not as strong as you thought you was, to be able to shed that light on them and inform influence them and change that whole group of people, that group of people will swallow you alive. And next thing you know, you walking and talking like them. You find yourself back doing things that you had stopped doing because now that you done re-expose yourself to that lifestyle again. Dang, moving into space before our time. Yeah. You can't do it.
You know.
You can't do it. You can't do it, Jada. Like, you just can't do it. Like, even what you do, Jada. I know it'd be some people that you want to help. They be like, Jada, can you help me get my pay? Listen, that's one of the reasons why I hadn't came to you, Jada, and told you and asked for your expertise and got your advice and help on fixing my page up like that, because I wasn't ready. I really wasn't ready yet. And so now I'm starting to get ready. Like, I got my support groups from Facebook. If you look on my in my bio now, Jada, I got like 3 different things in my link tree. So, but I need to make it bigger and better. But now at least I'm at a state to where I'm somewhat ready, you know what I'm saying, to receive. At first I was like, I ain't got my content right, I ain't ready yet. Because I'm doing so much out here that it's only 24 hours in a day now, and I got to sleep. The body and the mind has to be rested in order to execute fully. So
I have a nonprofit, Good Heart Youth, the Great Minds Project, me and my nephew. And so we mentor to a lot of youth. And I mentor to anybody. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But because the goal of the organization is to end the school to prison pipeline. But I don't just talk to the children, because you can teach the children the ABCs all the way through every single day to where they know them in every language. But they still got to go back home to that environment that's not teaching them, that's depressing them, that's detracting from them, that's taking their livelihood away. So now what I do is I talk to the parent too, because I try to get the parent to understand that there's no use in me working with your child
if you're not going to be moving in the same direction.
Right. Right. So
let me ask you a question too. Do you, because what I'm trying to get more work, right? So I moved into the realm of being a paid speaker.
Me too.
Downriver, there's a event coming up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it though. Later on this month, same thing, another small nonprofit, but they had a few forms where I didn't hit them across the head. But if you know of any, because if you don't ask, you won't receive. Right?
Yes.
Or even if it's something that's really, really like touching and detrimental, man, I'll come do it for free. But I'll get with you later on, like prices and stuff like that. But if you know of any events, schools, any of that I can come and be of any kind of influence or speak at, then I would love to do that.
I'm definitely gonna take you up on it. As of late, I've been speaking at town halls. I had my own town hall in April 26th.
That's what I seen on Facebook. You at town hall.
Yeah, that was my town hall, me and my friends' town hall, because I'm the lead organizer with Michigan Liberation for the restoration of good time for Michigan prisoners. So I'm the lead organizer for that. I'm also the lead organizer for the shutdown of Huron Valley Women's Correctional Facility. So I'm the lead organizer for that. So
how can I get involved in that?
You already are. You're talking to me. So my goal is, hey, how you doing? So the goal is to, like, we started this talking about how the fathers are taken from the homes, right? And how, and you was telling me about the word unalive as opposed to that other word, right? Right. And because we got too many brothers and sisters who are going to prison because of those type of crimes, where now the child is left abandoned and things like that. So now what we're trying to do, I'm the lead organizer of what we're trying to do, is we're trying to bring back good time to Michigan prisoners, so these prisoners who have changed their lives around can have a chance to get out early, to be reunited with their family, their loved ones, their community, their children. So that's the fight that we got going on right now, man. And it's a hell of a fight. We like it's the David and Goliath story right now. But at the end of the day, the civil rights movement was a David and Goliath story too, and they never gave up. You know what I'm saying?
If you have any petitions, right? Because I tell people all the time, although like our nonprofit, it's in my bio. So Jada, if you still here, if you go to my bio, you can check out the new updates. I got the link to TTIMS. That's our nonprofit, some inspiration and motivational service that my wife founded, right? But of course, I got to play the background because of my record. But I'm the youth director and a few other things to that. But you can go inside of that website and click on the link in the upper right-hand corner, and you can go on there to see how you can get obtain services from the organization in general. But me as a life coach, relationship coach, and we have counselors on board. So just in case Jada's still here.
She's right there.
But as far as what we're talking about, I need to if you have any petitions or anything like that where you need help, like as far as, because sometimes we can only reach so far that we can reach.
Absolutely.
I'm on the west side of the state. I'm all the way between Grand Rapids and Mesquite.
I'll be in Grand Rapids.
I'm in a small city. I'll be in Grand Rapids sometimes. I'm about 30 minutes away from Grand Rapids. I'll be shooting down there back and forth, but that's where I'm at now. And I'm able to reach out to a lot of people in the community also. So, because it's a statewide thing, you know what I'm saying? When you sign up petitions trying to get a bill passed for the state, so it ain't just like the city of Detroit.
Right.
So I can get on my platform. I can try to help push it. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we are supposed to be doing anyway. That's what it's about. That's what I be about. I'm setting
up a town hall in Grand Rapids. I hope to be there next month but I do go to Florida next month, Florida July, then I'll be in Africa in October. And but I'm trying to push this issue, man, because I really and truly believe and have faith in the fact that people who have changed their lives around, and it's so many, they deserve to be reunited with their family. They deserve to be incentivized, for their good behavior, because Michigan is only one of 6 states that has no incentive program for their prisoners. But yet, Michigan got 83 counties, and all county jails have good time. So that means that it don't make sense. If you think that first of all, if you want me to believe that a guy who just caught a case last year and he's in a county jail, he's more deserving because he changed his life. He's more deserving of the next guy who's been in prison for 20 years and changed his life. Come on.
Some of these guys have been on the news for giving coats away to kids for school, have donated to the breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
Different beneficiaries who, have done a whole bunch of great stuff, started programs that reached out to the community. Uplift, help, motivate some of these people's sons, and
that's right.
Come into the prisons and change their life around. So when they come home, you're like, wow, you sure have changed. They ain't tell you it's because of such and such who influenced them and took them under their wings and stuff like that. So them type of people to me deserve it more than anybody.
My argument a couple years ago, and also we just trained over 50 attorneys in Oakland County. I mean, not attorneys, prosecutors. And my argument is the same now as it was then. If you let me out, I'm just a student of those guys. You let the student out because you say the student changed his life. How can you not let the teacher out when he the one taught me how to become the man that I am, and he's the one changed his life in order for me to be inspired by his growth so I can change my life.
I like how you put that.
So we really, and that's the game that we stepping up right now, man. And like I say, I plan on, because state rep Rachel Hood is from Grand Rapids. So I got to get with her. I already talked to her once, but I got to get with her because I'm about to situate a town hall out that way in Grand Rapids. Maybe not Muskegon, but Grand Rapids for sure, because I know Rachel Hood is from Grand Rapids. And then I'm gonna go.
I will be there to support, speak up, whatever I got to do, sign petitions, advocate for. That's what I do.
Absolutely. Hey, so I gotta get ready to jump off this because I got some work to do. I gotta go to work.
Okay. I'm getting ready. Listen, it's funny because I was getting ready to go live and I seen you. I said, wait, let me go ahead and see me talking.
Absolutely, man. I'm right back here tomorrow. I don't know what time though, but I'm right back here tomorrow. I used to get this in every single day. Okay. Even if it was 20 minutes, I try to inspire somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to inspire somebody because I need to be inspired, man. It's not, and people keep thinking that we're here to inspire them. Yes, we are here to inspire you, but they don't understand how therapeutic they are to us.
I tell them that all the time. No, Jada, I'll be like, listen, y'all are an outlet for me because when I can get off my chest what I'm feeling and teach,
yes,
that makes me feel better because I understand that my life is worth more to others than it is to myself. So when I teach you, it makes me feel so good as long as I know that you hear it and you're honestly soaking up something and getting something out of it and that I'm making a difference. That's all that reward. I ain't looking for no money. I don't ask for them to be throwing me no. They do sometimes. I be getting a lot of money. Sometimes I don't get no money. But I don't be asking for that stuff. I don't really care about that. I'm here to try to make a difference. I ain't here to get nobody money. Go, boy, you finna eat in a minute. These kids, I'm gonna cook them something.
So
they keep coming up to me. But yeah, listen, I'm finna go ahead, get off of here. I'm finna play a little music. Finish cooking my stuff and let the people, get on my live and see what they talking about. Because I promised them that I was gonna start being more consistent. So
right.
Every other day, get on here for an hour or two and see,
I appreciate you hopping on, and it's a reason why, I invited you right on in as soon as you sent you asked me for the invite. But listen, I appreciate it, man. The conversation was powerful, man, and I hope that everybody got something out of it. Because the next time you want to run up the street and raise hell because the police did something to somebody, let's start thinking about how many times we do something to somebody and we don't have that same energy. I'm not saying that we shouldn't protest over here or condemn this incident. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying have that same energy when you see or hear about one of us killing us. Because every time the police do something, everybody seen the police do it. I'm talking about everybody seen every angle. He did this, but soon as something happened to one of us, we ain't seen nothing, heard nothing, we don't know nothing. I wasn't even there that day. Matter of fact, I wasn't even born that day. Come on, man.
Hey, until it hit their doorstep.
Then they be
standing up there talking about somebody please speak up.
Please speak up.
We're gonna have a laugh about that one day.
So I'm gonna say peace and love to everybody within the sound of my voice. But those who cannot hear the sound of my voice, I say pass along the message because someone needs to be inspired.
Okay, Ian. All right, peace and love, my brother.
Peace and love.